afternoon. Welcome to the market close for this hump day on Wednesday. And we have, as the sign behind me says, we got a green day. We had a couple of red days, but it is green. We can enjoy it. It's also a fairly heavy news day. So a lot going on today. Definitely a lot. We'll cover all of that. We're going to look at the markets. We're going to do everything. And we will be ringing a bell on time today. The last market close, I was off by about a minute. I got all distracted on a talk about mortgage. It was fantastic, but we're going to get it on time today. I'm going to really try. So that should be fun. Also, there's going to be an opportunity as well. If you guys want to earn a Friday's market close, we'll do the norm. If before we end today, we get 4 supers, we get another stream on Friday. So that's up to you guys. If you want to end the week that way, I think it would be fun. I think it would be a lot of fun. Okay, before we get too deep into it, we should probably take a gander at the good old market here. Give me a second. I just got to set this up. Here we go. Bang. Let's get to the right screen and we'll put me in the right spot. There we go. Awesome. All right. So, that's the Discord. Let's actually go to the market. Here we go. Here we go. So yeah, look at this. Fantastic. Everything is in the green. The TSX is up 0.23%. Now, this is interesting. And this is the TSX right here. So this is today. So if we look at today, you can see this gap here is where that's the weekend, basically. We exploded up in the morning, but we've been coming down ever since. So holy banana bread. There's a chance. There's a chance that we could nip into the red before we close. I don't think we're going to, but it could happen. The S&P 500 up 0.78%. NASDAQ looking pretty good, up 1.17%. So that's not too shabby. Gold's up by just a wee bit. Silver's up a full percent. WTI is up a little bit. But Bitcoin's only up 0.31%. It's actually interesting. We go back over here to Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. They exploded up this morning. But ever since about noon, it's been a dog's breakfast for Bitcoin. Yeah, they've pretty much lost most of their gains for the day. So we're going to look at that. We'll look at Bitcoin. Holy banana bread. I am also catching these things popping up in chat. We got our first super chat of the day. So here's a super number 1. Thanks for the lives. So there we go. 3 more. And we, of course, will have that bonus stream. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Jordan. That $2, by the way, that's going over to the 0 to 100K challenge. So that's going to be pretty darn cool. All right. Woohoo. Let's get to our heat. Oh my, look at this. Bitcoin's still falling live. As we're watching it, it's falling a little bit further. So all of this is live. Like I use TradingView. So if you're ever curious to know what this is, it's TradingView. You do have to pay though. You do have to subscribe to get everything live. Otherwise, you have that 15-minute delay like everything else does. Yeah, not fun. I need things to be live. So we got that. We got that. All right, now. And once again, thank you, Jordan. I'm just going to remove you here. We'll come back because we have to hit the chat here in a moment. Let's look at these heat maps. So over on the Canadian heat map, as you can see, we got a bit of a mixed batch. Look at this. Alimentation Couche-Tard up 3.37%. Now, this is an interesting one. I'm going to pull this up. This is National Bank. So National Bank, they've had a little bit of a drop. 117 down to 109. Now, there's big news for National Bank. National Bank is they're our 6th largest bank. So a lot of times, even though they're part of the big 6, a lot of people sometimes, kind of push them aside and just talk about the big 5. Well, National Bank is, they are heavy on the eastern part of Canada. So Quebec, Ontario, but they made a move. They have made a move today that's going to change things a little bit for them. they have they're acquiring Canadian Western Bank, CWB. I think the price tag was about $5 billion, but that is going to give National Bank their footing on the West, because that's where Canadian Western Bank is. And I've always liked Canadian Western Bank. But I'll tell you, one of the things that went through my mind more than once is that, hey, what's going to happen to Canadian Western Bank? Because a lot of times in Canada, if you have a small bank and you get successful, you get eaten by one of the bigger banks. So, you know, like, for example, I think, was it Royal Bank? It's just ate HSBC. So I was concerned about that. But if any of the big banks was going to eat Canadian Western Bank, National Bank is the one that annoys me the least. So I definitely like that. All right. All right. I want to get through these quickly because you guys are just chatting up a storm. Good old ETF heat map. Once again, always looking good. Vanguard VFV. There's a reason that people love this one. Now, as we're doing this, we got our second super in here, or super sticker. $1.11 coming in from Y Videos. You guys are halfway there. We only just began, and you guys are already halfway there. Holy banana bread. Thank you, Y Videos. Much appreciated. All right. Now, let's quickly look at the U.S. Yeah, Apple's looking good. Apple's looking good. NVIDIA, look at that. NVIDIA, look at this. So here is NVIDIA now. They're up to 125. So that's not too shabby. And I expect some pretty good, stronger growth from NVIDIA as we move forward, now that they have had, of course, their split, their 10-to-1 split that they began this week with. Now, I know, and I don't know if this has been resolved yet or not, but I know I got a notice on National Bank saying that, you know, you're getting 9 more shares for each of your shares in National Bank, but we're just waiting for them to give them to us, and then we'll put them in your account. So don't worry. So there might have been a little bit of a slowdown depending on your broker. So if you ran into that, don't worry, you're going to have all of your shares soon enough. All right, now quickly, we got as well. Here is the Bitcoin. Yeah, it's the Bitcoin show. It's no, here is the crypto, and Bitcoin is just up 0.14%. Ethereum doing a little bit better. Solana is up 1.77, so that's not too shabby. And even there's probably a coin I've never even heard of. Oh, let's find one I've never heard of. Frax. They're actually down. Whatever this. Let's look at this Frax. Yeah, I do not. Look at this. This looks like somebody who went into the hospital, and it didn't end well for them. It did not end well. Holy banana bread. It went bad. It went bad. So we'll leave it there. So that's Frax, our random crap coin of the day. Maybe it's not a crap coin, but I'm just calling it that just because, you know, we're that's kind of a humor thing. We're just leaving that as like a humor thing. All right. Okay, let's get my head big here. The wrong way. That was getting my head removed. All right, here we go. Whew. All right, let's get caught up with this chat. Holy banana bread. First off, the first in the house was Good Vibes with a bonjour. Bonjour as well for you too. Vic says so much to catch up on. Jersky's in with a hello. We got Ricardo with a good afternoon. We got Mary in with a good afternoon. And be sure to hit that like button. And while you guys are hitting the like button, I'm having a little bit of coffee. Very, very good. And we got a Jackie in the house with a hi, everyone. We've got a Sammer in the house. And all right, Ricardo says, could you please look into PRTS? It's something I've been eyeing, but I would love your take on it. I believe with the recent insider buying of 94,000 shares, it makes it a good play on a double. So PRTS. Yeah, let's take a gander. Give me a second. Let's pull up this one. All right. And I actually had to set these all back up today because for some reason, in the middle of the afternoon, the power went off and on. Just like, I was like, no. And I had to reset things up. For some reason, it didn't save this one screen. So not a problem though. All right, TMX Money. This, of course, another one of the sites that I use a fair amount. All right, and what are we looking at? PRTS. Let's see what we got here. Car parts. Interesting. I can tell before. I'm not even looking at things. I'll tell you right now, this is probably going to be something that there's some opportunity in, because people are not buying new cars as much anymore. It's crazy. So people are going to be people who normally would have maybe bought a new car when their car is starting to get a little old. They're going to start looking at the repair options instead. So car parts, I bet you there's some opportunity here. Now this is a cheap, this is kind of a penny stock. Penny stock. See, I didn't even know that, but well, look at this. This is not good. Ricardo, they're moving in the wrong direction. Yeah, they've had a little bit of a, and this is on the 3-year, but let's just go to the 1 year and see if we can see a bit of, well, there's a tiny bit right there. All right. Let's take a look here at a couple of things. So they're an online provider of automotive aftermarket parts and repair information. Okay, that's good. I mean, I can see a demand in that area, but I'm kind of curious of a couple of things here. First of all, let's see here. Yeah, they're not profitable at the moment, so that's not good. We got a negative 7.38 on the return on equity, negative on the return on assets. Oh dear. Now here's a positive here. They don't have a lot of debt, so their debt to equity ratio is 34%. So that's not too shabby there, but this is one I'd be careful with. They are a penny stock, and penny stocks, they can go in the wrong direction just as fast as they can go in the right direction. So be careful on it. Insider buying does not always mean what you think it means, but it is a good sign. That is definitely a good sign. Maybe they know something that we don't know, but I definitely wouldn't put a lot of money in here unless you really want to take a chance, and if you feel really good about it. I would be a little careful personally. All right, let's get back here. And I keep removing myself. Let's stop removing myself. I was like distracted for a second. I'm like, it's 3:58. We're getting darn close. Jordan's in the house. Good afternoon, Candace. And of course, we know Jordan's in the house. He gave the first super chat of the day. 9 is in with a whole helping heaping of banana bread. Unholy banana bread this time. Prairie's in the house. Good afternoon, everybody. Lurking in the background as I work. Always good to have you in the house. And of course, here was that first super chat once again from Jordan. 9 points out. Massive super chat. Yeah, absolutely. CWB, yes, as we mentioned, National Bank has acquired them for $5 billion. And now, if you were holding CWB this morning, let me say, if you held them before today, oh my, they went up about 70%. Actually, I'm going to try to get over here, pull up their chart, and get back in time to hit the bell. This is going to be fun. CWB. Here we go. All right, let's pull this up. I still got 30 seconds. We can do it. Look at this. This is just on the 5-day. They went from 24.96. Moonshot. Holy cow. Look at this. 42.34. Or sorry, 30. Yeah, 42.34. Insane. And they held it. They didn't even come back down. So this is going to be interesting. This will be interesting. So I know we've covered them before. And I'm going to bring things back up here because we got the bell coming up. We've covered them before, so hopefully... Oh, bell time. Woohoo! The market is now closed. It's in the bag. Okay. Woo! Market's closed. It's in the bag. Yeah, Moonshot. Holy cow. Let's go back. I know we actually did a deep dive on them about a year and a half ago, or roughly a year and a half ago. Yeah, I hope some of you guys, let me know. Were any of you holding Canadian Western Bank? Was this a good payday for you? So it may have been. All right. Eddie says BAM had the best day for me. Well, hey, you know what? I still got this up. Let's take a look and see what BAM did today. So Brookfield Asset Management. And right now we've got it on, here we go. Look at this. So BAM has come up a little bit. So that's not too shabby either. Right now we're on the 5-day. If we look at just the 1 day, they came into the day at $51.34. So they picked up more than $1, 52.53. So that's not too shabby either. Not too shabby either. All right. Now Vic says, so people buying Laurentian Bank. Here's the thing. Holding on to a smaller bank sometimes is not a bad thing, just in case stuff like this happens. Now, I'm not saying you guys all need to go and say, okay, let's find all the little banks. And well, this is interesting too. When I do my bank review, I did have somebody say, could you add a couple of these smaller banks to it too? So I was actually thinking of adding Canadian Western Bank, Laurentian Bank, and EQ Bank to the next one. Now, I guess I don't really have to worry about Canadian Western Bank, but I might add Laurentian Bank and EQ Bank to those going forward. So that's going to be kind of cool. All right. We got Mario in the house with a good afternoon. And Vic says, National Bank has one branch in northern Alberta. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They don't have a lot of presence in the West, but now they will. Now, here's the big thing, and they really didn't specify this in the news article. Will Canadian Western Bank hold on to their name as is, or are they going to completely rebrand them? That'll be interesting. I would say, and this is what I would do, is I would keep the Canadian Western Bank name in the West because it already has, people trust it, people like it. Why change the name? Why lose that brand recognition? So just one thing I would think about. 9 says only one branch in Vancouver area too for National Bank. Yeah, absolutely. There was our second, by the way, from Y Videos. So thank you both, of course, to Jordan and to Y Videos. You guys rock. We're halfway to getting a Friday stream, so that's fantastic. All right. Apple is plummeting, according to Al. Yesterday, they had a little bit of a bad day, which is kind of interesting because they had the WDCC, and they basically introduced a lot of the new OSs that are coming out, and they also introduced what they're doing with AI. So it's pretty darn cool. Now, there is a lot of controversy around it. One of the things that caused some controversy is they're talking about having their sort of, I guess, personal intelligence, they're calling it. They were talking about having their personal intelligence hooking up to ChatGPT. And Elon didn't like that. He actually came out with this big authoritarian type speech saying that, yeah, anybody who has an Apple device of any kind, if they're coming into Tesla, we need you to check them in, and we're going to put them in Faraday cages because this is not secure. He really went off the deep end on it, well, at least on I was going to say Twitter, but on X. So he X'd that, I guess. Yeah. But, I mean, Apple, I mean, well, let's, we got the second screen for a reason. Let's actually pull Apple up here for a moment because they did much better today. All right. AAPL. Here we go. Apple. All right. There we go. Let's just go to, well, here's the 5-day. So you can see that you had, let's see here. Where we got here? Let's see, June. Today is what, the 12th? So here's the 11th. So yeah, actually, overall, when I look at it this way, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. I know I was watching them on the charts and I saw them drop a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's just use something here that we can actually see this a little bit better. I think I have them on here somewhere. Yeah, here's Apple. Okay, so yeah, here's today. They did okay. Now, coming in yesterday, they did drop a little bit. They dropped a little bit. That was actually during the WWDC. But they've had a good day today, and now they're sort of correcting a little bit towards the end. Now, in after hours, they're actually up a tiny, tiny bit, not by much. Oh, now they're down a little bit. So that little blue that says post there on the side, that's their after hours movement. So we'll have to see, but I think Apple's doing fine. I actually liked the WWDC, and I liked a lot of the things I saw in it, to be honest. Now, one problem that a lot of people are having, and let's bring me back up. Holy cow. Every time I go to bring me back up today, I've removed me. That's hilarious. It's sort of like I need to watch out for myself because I don't know what I'm doing. Um, what I do like about Apple and what I like about some of the things that they said is there's a lot of like the whole idea of the personal intelligence is that you're going to have your own large language model that's not connected to the outside world. So it's going to live on your device. So as a result, for anybody who wants that, you need a newer device because you need at least an M chip. So if you have one of the older devices that have an Intel chip, it just doesn't have the I guess I'll call it the gahunas. It doesn't have the gahunas to run it. So you kind of need one of the newer devices. So pretty much if your phone or something is older than like 2020, then it may not work. It may not work on that. So you may not be able to upload the new operating system that will have it in it. Now, the thing I do like, though, is it's just I think it's going to work. I think it will actually work, and I do like the idea that you have connectivity with with basically an AI without having to be connected to the internet. So you could be out in the middle of nowhere and you'd be able to use this large language model. I mean, there's going to be some limitations. If you need information that's not already on the phone, you're going to have issues. But for example, let's say you have documents on the phone, like survival stuff on the phone. You could be like, hey Siri, how do I build a lean-to? And she could give you that information. So I'm actually surprised I didn't accidentally fire off my watch with that. All right. All right. Oh yeah, I am big screen already. We'll get to Mario here. Holy cow, we're falling so far behind. Yep, I only picked up one Canadian Western Bank stock. I got greedy trying to get it under 26. Then I would have more. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Vic says Royal Bank didn't get HSBC, just the Canadian arm of it. Well, yeah, that's what I meant, Vic. The Canadian part of HSBC. Sorry. I said you are welcome, and everyone. Vic says I slept on Apple at 165. Missed the BMO drip yesterday. Stan's in the house. Hello, Stan. Good to see you. Al says I bought my Apple at 193. And Y Video says I just sold a little bit of NVIDIA again and bought some Guradu SA. So GGB. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look. All right. We'll get back to this one here. All right. So what did you buy? You bought GGB. All right, and here we have. All right, so let's see here. All right, so it's not that expensive. It's like a $3 stock, so it's kind of penny adjacent. Let's take a look at them over the last year. It's a little up and down, but what are they doing? Let's see what this is more important right now. All right, so steel and steel products. I do like that. There's going to be a demand for that. As I mentioned the other day, I actually added a company to the 0 to 100K, a US company that operates within steel as well, because I'm pretty bullish on steel. So civil construction, agriculture, automotive, iron ore, exports, research and development, home steel products sectors. Definitely, there's definitely some potential there. Now this is interesting, a high dividend yield when they're such a small stock. So that's kind of got me intrigued a little bit here. Let's just go in here to the key data here for a second. So let's see here. All right, so we don't have a return on equity return, and that does happen sometimes with smaller stocks. Interesting. Keep us updated. Keep us updated on that one. I'm not 100%. I'm kind of very neutral on that one because of how bullish I am on steel as general. Let's see here. All right, we'll go to for the Frax chart. To do more stuff for Ricardo. All right, let's see here. Vic says I like MG instead of parts. Well, let's look at MG. Let's see what this MG is. There we go. Magna International. Or were you thinking Mistras Group? Let's look at Magna first, because I think Magna does car parts. I think. I could be wrong. I could be really, really wrong. So this automotive suppliers products include exteriors, interiors. Okay. So I was right about that, which is good. Let's look at them in the last year. So they're still down a little bit too, but there is going to be a bigger demand in that sector. So okay, they've got about a 4% yield, and we'll go over here to our key data. And this one here, it is profitable. So 8.96 return on equity, 3.2 return on assets. They got 69% debt to equity ratio, so a little more debt, but they're already profitable. So that's not a bad choice, not a bad selection. Ta-da, Jonathan is here. Woohoo! And Ricardo says, I do like to follow companies with no debt. It's why I've been eyeing it. Makes sense. Low debt is always a good thing. Ricardo says, I was thinking maybe just buy like 200 to 300 shares and watch it ride up towards $2 and bounce on a nice 30. Okay, that's fair enough. Hopefully that works. Let us know, of course. Al says Apple dropped like $6 to $7 in the last 25 minutes. Yes, I saw that. But keep in mind, they pumped really hard through the day. So sometimes that'll happen and you'll get a little bit of a correction as it settles. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm still very bullish on Apple long term. Nvidia and Apple hit their 52-week high today. Yeah, there we go. So if you're looking for silver, there it is, or the silver lining. I guess that's what you call it. All major indexes did today. QQQ, SPY, Nasdaq. Yeah, there was a lot of positivity in the market going up for sure. And let's just take our last look here, and then we'll get caught up in chat. All right, so last look of the day. Where am I? Oh, that's because I went down. So the TSX stayed in the green, up 0.34%. S&P 500 up 0.85%. Nasdaq looking strong, 1.41% up. Gold was up, silver up a whole percent, and 1.31. WTI up, and Bitcoin managed to finish up. And once again, surprising that National Bank went down just with them purchasing of Canadian Western Bank. I mean, Canadian Western Bank went absolutely crazy. So definitely something to look at. There's CSU, another one of Vic's favorites. They were up a full percent, while 1.05%. Both railroads down a tiny bit. Nutrien down quite a bit, 1.67%. Fortis is down. Yeah, kind of a mixed bag. And we're not going to, we'll skip the ETF for now. There's NVIDIA once again. Apple's still looking strong at 2.86 up. NVIDIA 3.55% up. So not too shabby. Even Google, Microsoft, Meta, all up. Look at this Oracle, though. Oracle's up 13.32. Holy banana bread. That makes me think maybe they had some earnings coming out. Yeah, that's interesting. Oracle, or ORCL. Let's actually, I'm going to come back here. I don't have them on my list, but let's just take a gander. I'm kind of curious. ORCL. Here we go. Let's add them. Let's jump down. Take a look here. I want to look at Oracle. Yep, there it is. See that E? That's earnings. So they finished down here 124 and they exploded to 134. Oracle had a good earnings report. There's no doubt about it when you're looking at what has happened here. Yeah, fantastic for Oracle. So if any of you happen to hold Oracle, I don't think you do, but you never know. Congratulations. All right. Over to the crypto heat map for the last time of the day. Bitcoin, they're staying in the green. Ethereum up, Tether up, Solana up, Dogecoin up 5.07%. So not too shabby. Even Cardano up. It's looking good. It's looking good over there. All right, let's. This time I got it right. I didn't remove me. Let's get back to this chat. Let me get caught up here. Vic says, Ricardo, if you play worked out, you'd be up 100 to 150. Oh, if your plan works out. Nice. Well, you know what? You got to take whatever any profit's good in my books. Sometimes you chip away and you take a whole bunch of little profits, but when you add those little profits together, you've got some medium profits. Ricardo says, I mean, yeah, a win is a win. Vic's still living in his mom's basement. All right, MP, hi friend. I invested last week in DRX after you showed me how to use Stock Screener. Already, I'm up 13% on my investment. Exciting stuff. I do like DRX. I purchased it actually, and it's in the 0 to 100K challenge. So I'm always happy to see some of my picks going up for sure. Not to say I never have picks that go down. You know, everybody's going to get both. But that's one of the ones I do like DRX quite a bit. Amvas is in the house. From all AI ETFs, why AIQ? For US growth, I'm looking for an AI ETF, but also a portion of high div with growing NAV plus covered calls. FEPI SVOL, appreciate your thoughts. Okay, well, I was looking at more than just AIQ, but one of the reasons I think I narrowed down AIQ, other than the fact I did like the way it was diversified, I like the way it's managed. I like the fact it has very little dividends because I wanted for a TF. So if I'm putting a US stock into a TFSA, there's a 15% withholding tax on any dividends that it produces. So that was one of my other concerns is I just wanted to have very little dividends. So that way there, I won't be thinking every month, oh, how much did I lose this month? But that can't kind of boil down to that. But that was definitely one. I will probably before the summer's out, I would imagine I will look at a especially as we get more AI related or focused ETFs coming along. I would love to do a video on just AI ETFs. So look forward to that. It will be coming. Okay. And Ricardo's telling Vic that he tries to swing plays with about 1 to 2K. Then long term, I keep majority of stuff that I have held now for over 4 years. Yeah. So if this is like a swing trade, sometimes the swing trade doesn't net you a ton, but you know, it really works. Bots in the live stream. Where's the bots? I don't see the bots. Is there bots in the live stream? Uh-oh. Give me a second. Let me take a gander here. No, I don't see bots. Vic, are you pulling my leg? I don't see the bots. But it had me concerned for a second because I don't like bots in my live stream. Owl says, living in mom's basement is a great way to let you invest more. It is. It really is. Andy's in the house. Hello, Andy. Good to see you. Hi, all. Strange day today. Mixed green with red. Yeah, very strange day. But not, you know, we sort of talked about National Bank. We also had stuff going on. We actually had a double stuff going on in the U.S. So the CPI came out in the U.S. today. And the Fed rate hike. The Fed rate decision came out. No mystery. The Fed is keeping their rate exactly as it is. So the pause continues in the U.S., despite the fact that the CPI came in soft. So they were expecting 3.4, I believe. So they were expecting it to come in at 3.4%, and it came in at 3.3%. So that's positive. That's a positive CPI for you know, the first one in a little while. Well, you know, so it looks good, but it's not yet enough. Now, the Fed also kind of hinted that there might be one rate cut in the cards for 2024, but no more. So that kind of spoiled things a little bit too. But for now, I think the market was kind of happy saying, oh, well, we were almost at the point that we thought there would be none. So I think the market was okay with that. They were okay with that. It didn't cause a panic. So, which is good because with this double hit day that we're having today, so between the CPI and the Fed rate decision, that's one of the key driving factors on why the market was absolute a red fest for the first couple of days. So now that that's behind us, I think we have a better chance of seeing the end of the week a little bit better. So we should hopefully see a little bit of greens. But if you were out buying stuff, these last couple of days have been good for you for sure. All right. Ricardo says, just think of it this way. I buy $240 worth of it. Then it bounces to $2. And that puts me at an exit of 400. So that right there is a swing trade that is clearly a winner. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, sometimes with a swing trade, I'll make a swing trade where, you know, I'm not playing. I might be playing pips, right? Like I might actually buy something and sell it 5 cents more than what I bought it at, but I'm buying in larger volumes. So that 5 cents starts to add up pretty darn quickly. So especially if you're looking at, like, if you're buying 1,000. So if you're buying 1,000 shares that you're doing a swing trade on, and it goes up by 1 cent, well, that's $10 right there. If it went up by 10 cents, that's $100. Imagine if it went up by that whole dollar. Wow, that's $1,000 right there. So, you know, but you have to be, when you're playing with larger amounts, sometimes you kind of have to be a little more conservative. And sometimes you have to just take what you can here and there. Let's see. Ricardo says, I'm not saying it would, hence that's why I'm gambling on the swing. Okay. Hal wants to know who's the bot. Yeah, who's the bot? That sounds like a sort of remind me of Who's the Boss, but it's like, you know, that could be a reality show where when we have robots that look like humans, so everybody could be a human, but one person is a robot. We probably already have things like that already. It doesn't surprise me. Paul says, funny, your audio is great on the live stream. Yeah, well, it's a different mic system, right? So on the live stream, I am using, I'll pull it up here. I am using the Yeti right here, but the Yeti won't grab me over by the green stream where I do everything else. So it's kind of a different, like that one there is, if I pull it up there, yeah, I don't know if you can see it. All right, everything's going to move a little bit. There we go. That's the mic up there, the Rode that I'm using on that. But now I'm at that point where I'm like, what the heck can I do to improve that? So I may have to go with, I just may have to go with you know, with a wireless, just something like that. So I'll have to look and see. I'm going to get this figured out because it drives me crazy. And I'm also wondering too, if it's something that Final Cut was doing with a couple of those videos, because when I'm editing it on Final Cut, the sound, it sounds fine. Like I have no issues. So I'm trying to, anyway, it's something I'm working on. That whole thing. But yeah, this is a fantastic, this Yeti is great for my live streams. I have no issues with the sound at all. All right, let's see here. 9 says, was there a Fed meeting today? Yes, there was. And the rate, the overnight rate is the same. It has not. The pause continues as expected. Ricardo says, no, MP was the guy who was trying to start investing, and he was asking for advices about a week ago. Okay. All right. And speaking of MP, I'm thinking about investing in TDOC. Thoughts? TDOC. Let's take a gander. I'm going to have to pull up the, whoops. Let's get out of the perpetual loop. All right. TDOC. I think I know what that is, but yeah, TD Global Healthcare. All right. So this is basically a healthcare ETF. So let's pull it up. See how they've been doing here. They've been doing a little bit better. I'm not going to lie. This is not that bad. We did have a little bit of a correction in the market. So they seem to be doing what the market is doing. They've got a half decent 3.163% yield, 45-cent dividend. So not looking too shabby, not looking. Let's go further out though. Yeah, even there, like, yeah, it's not too shabby. So I'm thinking TDOC. It looks okay. If you're looking to get some healthcare exposure in there, this is not a bad option. Not a bad option at all. All right. Let's see. Vic says, FOMC said not cut now and perhaps one cut. Yeah, exactly. Al says, I have a legit question. What is a good website to keep track of your investments, like to make charts and stuff? I saw somebody's channel used a site, but that site costed a monthly fee. There's a lot of different sites that you can certainly use. Now, for example, once it really comes down to, because you want to make a bunch of graphs. That I would have to sort of dig into. Like, I know if you're looking for charting your dividends and keeping track of everything in one place, you can do that within TMX Money, for example. So this is TMX. TMX, if you sign into it, and let's sign in. And this here is 100% free. So yeah, why create a... There we go. All right. So once you're in it, as you logged in, one of the things that you can do, for example, here, let me see here. Whoops, I suppose I should be looking at the right place. Stock lists. I don't want to go stock lists. Go to tools. Actually, it's in my stock list. All right, here we go. Or at least it should be in my stock list. Oh, actually, portfolio. Let's go to watch lists. There we go. So these here are ones that I have created. So this is the, we'll go to this one here. Let's go to this one. This is the Dividend Aristocrat one. I've designed this one. So when you go into it, you can put all of your stuff in here, and you know, this has a lot because this is all of the Dividend Aristocrats. But you can come in, you can actually, and this here, of course, I don't own all of them, but you could actually enter in all of your purchases if you want to. Now, this doesn't really give you much, but what it does give you is a good way of looking at your dividends and tracking things that way. So it doesn't really give you much of a user interface that you can make fancy graphs from. One that does is Blossom. So, you know, if you, I don't know, this is the funny thing. I'm on the subscribed or the pro version of Blossom. So I don't know what the limit is on how many graphics you can make on the free version. Somebody who has the free version, when you go in to look at your portfolio, you do have a lot of these self-generated things. So for example, let's give me a second here. I'm just going to pull up the iPad and I'll show you a couple of things here. All right, there we go. Let's get out of the dividends calendar on Blossom. Let's see. All right, so this here is the, all right, let's view more. So for example, this here is the type of things you can get. You can sometimes get little things like this. So, I need to go full screen for this, or you're not going to be able to see it. So this here is just some of the little things that you can get. So this here is basically a dividend forecast. So this here is for the challenge. So the 0 to 100K challenge right now is pulling in $359.30 a year in dividends. And you can change that as well too. For example, if we want to look at it monthly. So monthly, the challenge right now, it's up to $29.94 in that. Now, that's dividends. Let's just see here. Let's go back to the portfolio. So you can look at things like, let's see here. So for example, this is a little bit of, let's see here. All right, so you can break things down. So, and you guys have seen things like this before where I'm looking at, some of the sectors and things like that. So all of that is within there, and there's all kinds of different ones that you can certainly use. But as for other ones, I'm going to have to actually go digging around to see what I can find, because I do a lot of the stuff myself. So as you guys know, and I'll pull this up. Here we go. And I need to bring up, here we go. So as you guys know, I like to sort of manage things myself. I like to create my own spreadsheets. Um, a lot of people love to have those graphical, pie graphs, and I could turn this into a pie graph if I wanted to. But me, I like to see the straight data. I like to just look straight at the data, see what's going on with that. But some people do like to have the all of the bells and whistles. All right, let's get back here. We'll get caught up again. All right, not a bot. So MP has confirmed that they are real, but I am a bot. I'm a bot-friendly channel, not the bots that come in and cause problems, but I would have no problem having a bot who was in here that was like intelligent. Like once we get to the point that like some of these chat bots are actually coming into things like this and asking questions or contributing, I'm like, okay, cool, why not? Unless it's disruptive. So just something to keep in mind. All right, Al Bundy. All right, Y Video says the reason for Guridu are sector value dividend and international diversification. Nice. I like that idea. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna have a quick sip of coffee here. I do love the coffee. Yeah, international diversification definitely hugely important. So, nothing too shabby there. Yeah, nothing too shabby here. All right. Andy says, I don't get it. Index funds and ETFs are getting quite high while general stocks are going really slow. I guess it really, really depends. You got to look at it this way too, though. When you're looking at individual stocks, some of them are doing really well and some of them are not doing as well. So when you're looking at an ETF, though, because you've got that basket, you get isolated from a lot of the downs. Because, if one or two stocks is not performing, as long as I get a couple in there that are overperforming, it tends to sort of keep, kind of work its way out that way. So, yeah, I would say that's pretty much what you're looking at when it comes to your ETFs, for example. Now, it's actually interesting. I was watching over on Beavis Wealth, I think yesterday. Him and his dad came out with a video where Brandon's kind of like contemplating having a bit more ETF exposure on his thing because he's been a very much an individual stock guy. So I thought that was just interesting seeing how he's kind of thinking a little bit in the ETF way. It's kind of here, even though I do a lot of main stocks, I do like ETFs. I believe a hybrid mix is probably the best mix to have. One of the reasons why I do try to cover ETFs as well. Keep in mind too, after this deep dive, is it one of the next two deep dives is going to be another ETF one, because we do an ETF deep dive every month as well. And that's kind of cool because I think a lot of channels, especially ones that do deep dives, they tend to sort of ignore the ETFs and just do the companies. But I try to get that in every single, at least one a month. Now, technically, we could do two in a month if the channel members, when they get their members' choice video at the end of the month, they could choose an ETF, and then we'd get an ETF, another one. G Marks is in the house with a hey, everyone. Vic says, great Buffett quote. Astute investor sells to the optimist and buys from the pessimist. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I missed this. Well, it's because I'm so far behind. But Mary's in with a hit the like button, folks. And it's a super chat. So we're now super chat number 3 or super number 3. So we're one away. And maybe it's already happened. I haven't gotten to it yet. But we're one away from a Friday stream. So fantastic. You guys rock. All right. So let's see here. And Ricardo's saying, to Andy, you need to follow the weight of each index. One aspect of things that index funds do is rebalance their balance sheet on a month-to-month basis. So watching what kind of weight they have. So yeah, that's kind of the advantages of an ETF. You've got that manager, so they're not getting that fee for nothing. They're in there adjusting things. So you take, for example, if you have an equal weight ETF, there's a lot of work to maintain that because, as one company starts doing really well, another one not as well, that's a little bit of tinkering there, a little bit of adjustments to keep that weight equal. So yeah, there's a lot of work. All right. All right, let's go here. So yeah, and Andy says, very good point. Lisa's in the house. Hello, everyone. And then once again, hit the like button. Everybody, do it now. I'll have a drink of coffee while you do it. And we'll see if I can taste blue. I tasted a little bit of blue. I could have more blue though, guys. Just smash that button. Al says, today I am up $14,996.50. At one point, it was 20K. Not too shabby. Not bad for someone who has close to zero idea what to do. Okay. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you will only get better. But I always put this caveat there. There's always like a certain level of knowledge that you can take somebody who has no knowledge and they can do really well. And you can give them a little bit of knowledge and they can all of a sudden have enough knowledge to mess things up a bit. So there's kind of that little middle ground before you then get to that point where you're like, I'm heading towards guru status. So it's just one of those things. It's one of those things. That's why I always say with new investors, and I will reiterate this, it never hurts to start with ETFs. Start with some solid, really good ETFs, and then learn the stuff on the side. And then when you're ready, you can then, if you want to start bringing in some stocks, and sometimes you do, because I mean, when you look at it, how cool is it when, let's say, for example, let's say you go to TD Bank and that's your bank. Well, how cool is it to actually own some shares in it and then sort of say, well, I'm a part owner of this bank. Not like they're going to give you any benefits from that, other than, of course, your dividends and growth. But it's still kind of fun to sort of say, I own a little bit of that. And plus, sometimes it means you can actually vote on stuff too. Though, I mean, how many of you actually, and I'm kind of curious, how many of you actually vote? Because, a lot of times you'll get stuff in the mail from different companies saying, here's how you can go and vote at our next shareholders meeting. And, if you are entitled to vote. So, if you want to vote, you certainly can. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Profit is profit. Yeah, exactly. Profit is always, always good. Buffett said the rest of us should buy the S&P 500. It's not a bad index. It's not a bad index. I mean, how often is it always at all-time highs? It happens a lot. So I would say not a bad index at all. Let's see. 9 is a banana bread bot. Those are the best type of bots. I'm very banana bread bot friendly here. Ian says, I'm late to the party. I thought they bought the Canadian wheat board. No, not the Canadian wheat board. They might have the same initials, but a Canadian Western Bank. But the wheat would be funny. Vic says, most of my money in index ETF, but small swings in individual stocks. Al says, my game plan is to buy S&P 500 index when the NVIDIA hype disappears. Yeah, there we go. Not too shabby. Ricardo says, at Vic, a majority of my portfolio is only individual as well as bonds. The index is on my retirement account. This is the play account. There we go. And that's kind of a neat thing. So sometimes, for example, if you want to have a play account, sometimes it can actually make a lot of sense to put your play account on a different broker. Because then there's no chance when you're playing around, you're saying, oh, I want to get more, that you're going to, it makes it harder for you to pull more money into the play account out of like an actual investment. And it's kind of like a safety. It's like a safety gauge. It's like a good safety buffer to keep you from over pulling things in. Kind of like, how like sometimes gamblers love to get that debit card and run to the machine because they know that they know things are going to turn around if they just have a bit more money. So that makes a lot of sense. So I would recommend, if you have a play account, put it on a different account. So let's say, for example, if you bank with National Bank, put it on maybe Wealthsimple. I definitely would put it on something that has no commission. Or if you are on Wealthsimple, maybe put it on like a National Bank, for example. Paul says, Make your green screen on wheels like a portable cloths rack. Yeah, that would be well, it's interesting. I actually have, so when I had the office downstairs, the studio used to be in the basement, but I used to have these racks that I could put it on, although um, eventually I took it off the racks and just put it straight on the wall because there was just no point. But, yeah, it's not a bad idea. So, it's definitely something. 9 says, "What bonds do you hold, Ricardo?" All right. Let's see. S&P 500 at record and just have to buy it at all-time highs, even though I know I don't matter if we hold for 20 years. There we go. And a lot of times people want to see they want to see those returns right away. They're like, I want to see all that money start rolling in. But you got to remember, when you have a snowball at the top of a hill, it starts really slow. It just slowly moves. It's picking up snow, but you don't really notice it. But by the time it's halfway down the hill, people in front, like the villagers, are running for their lives as the snowball is coming at them, like the Rock in Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's scary stuff. All right, let's see here. So Jungle says I am 17% VFV and 9.5% XQQ. They are my only ones, and I'm adding outside of drips. JJ is in the house. Welcome to the stream, JJ. Doesn't hurt to jump in at the end. The end, the beginning, the middle. Because it's on replay, it doesn't matter, right? Let's see. Y Video says my healthcare ETF is XHC. It's a Canadian hedged version of IXJ. So let's take a look here. Let's look at HXC. All right, we'll pull it up. All right, HXC. HXC. All right, HXC Holding Company. Let's pull this up. All right. I'm definitely in the wrong HXC. Sometimes if you get a couple of them, you got to just sort of take a gander. I went into the first one here. It's probably going to be this one here. Yeah, the iShares Global Healthcare. There we go. Duh. Perfect. All right, let's take a look over the last year. Yeah, look at this. This is another really strong one. I mean, it's a little pricey up there at $72. But it doesn't look like they have a dividend. That's fine. But yeah, pure growth, and that's not bad looking growth. Let's go further back. Let's actually go to the 3-year. So yeah, you can see they had a little bit of choppiness, but they seem to have gotten that behind them now that we've moved into a more stable, a better market per se. Let's see. Can you check out Rex Shares' new AICC ETF if you have time? Ticket AIPI. Well, I'm here. Let's do it. AIPI. Oh, it helps if I don't put extra characters in there. AIPI. There we go. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Is it a Terrace? Is that what you said it was? No, it's Rex Shares. Oh, right down here, Rex. Perfect. All right, so Rex AI Equity Premium Income ETFs. Okay, so this one here has an income involved. I'm not seeing what the income is yet, but let's take a look and see. Maybe it's just really, really new, and it is. It's just started, but look at this. It went from 50 to 53, so that's not too shabby. Have they actually declared their first dividend? Let's take a look and see. No, I don't have that yet, but I would have to go to the actual page to sort of get a general idea on what this one is doing. But definitely one to pay attention to because, yeah, I think an AI premium. So I'm wondering if are they doing covered calls? Do we have that information yet or not? Let's just see here. I doubt we're going to have anything down here. No, we don't. Oh, no, we do. All right. So the investment seeks to maximize total returns. All right. So they're investing in a combination of exchange-traded funds, focus on fixed incomes and future contracts. Okay. It doesn't actually tell me what is happening, but Rex AI. I wonder here. Let's just go to Google. GOO. Rex AI ETF. All right, there it is right in here, AIPI. So just, yeah, okay. I don't need any more information. I just want to get some basics here. All right, so this is going to give us more information because it is brand spanking new. So it does look like we got covered calls happening here. So right covered calls, perfect. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. What are we looking here at for? Let's see here. Discount premium fund assets. Oh, they got a good amount of assets to start off with. Distribution. So right now, they're going to be a monthly distribution, but I don't see a rate yet. I don't see a rate yet at all. Do they have something down below? So the distribution rate is the annual yield an investor will receive. Okay, fine. I just wanted to know what it is. So we don't know yet what that distribution is going to be yet, but we do know when it's going to happen. So the first one, it looks like July 29th is when the first one is being paid out. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we're probably looking at maybe 10%, but I don't know. It could be anything. It could really be anything. But yeah, that looks interesting. All right, let's, I really got to get caught up. All right. Vic loves his GICs. How come you guys don't invest in like NVIDIA? Everyone, I think since May 23rd, it has increased 31.5%. I know my portfolio is too heavy in NVIDIA, but it has been worth it so far, knock on wood. So I do have exposure to NVIDIA in a couple of different ways. So one, within the 0 to 100K, it's within, of course, it's definitely covered within the two tech ETFs. So that's fine. It's also in the it's absolutely in the AI ETF as well, the US one. So I get NVIDIA exposure there. Now I do have an account that's outside of this. It's one of the retirement accounts that has actually does have a good exposure to NVIDIA in it. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been fantastically happy with what NVIDIA has done for sure. Vic says, Al, happy for you, but I feel I'd be FOMO for me at this point. It reminds me of Cisco in 1999. And fair enough. I think even Meet Kevin did a video where he was comparing it to Cisco. But I do think that this is different for now. Where I would be concerned and cautious is when we have other chip makers that are actually making chips as good as or better. If that starts to happen, then yeek, you're probably NVIDIA is not going to fall, but they could have a bit of a retraction if that happens. But right now, nobody's really close. I know a lot of different companies, everything from Snapdragon to AMD, they're working on stuff, but they're not there yet. All right. And Ricardo says it feels like Cisco as well. Amvac says, I appreciate your portfolio tracker spreadsheets and also your dividend calculations for review. Only if it's not too much to ask. Will it be something that you'd share with your members, please? Yeah, of course. What I need to do is I'll actually look at a way to see if I can get this hosted over on the Discord. Just give me some time, but I'll get that. I'll make that happen. I think that's, and not just for members, for everybody. Whoops. Holy cow. Oh my God, I can't believe how far behind I am. Okay. So from this point forward, if you're not talking directly to the chat, I'm going to skip you just because we've fallen behind. Let's see. NVIDIA is my cash cow, actually. I sell some at times just for diversification. Yeah. And Al thinks it's going to crash soon. So we'll have to sort of see if that is... Duarley, hey, welcome back. I haven't seen you in at least probably a few months. Colombian coffee. Well, you gotta have coffee. Thanks. Yes, I am a big fan of coffee for sure. It's Maxwell House, so I'm not sure if it's Colombian or not. And congrats, Al, for the plus. All right. I know I'm going to mess it up soon enough. Let's see here. Vic says that he has learned a lot. PhD level, and Prairie loves pizza. PZA. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I do expect to see especially now that we're starting to move into a rate cut environment. That's going to be really good on a lot of these food royalty stocks. All right. No voting. Let's see. I have voted on anything the proxy has come my way. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. No voting, no mask, no vaccine. Just kidding. All right. Oh, here it is. There it is. We got caught up. So we got a Friday stream coming up. We did receive our dividend here from the Banana Bread Company, $2. Thank you, Banana Bread Company. Always appreciative. All right. Al says, I haven't been vaccinated yet. Not for political reasons, just too lazy. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ricardo says, at Mountain Finance, correct. I worked for the Vermont University, and they have our retirement account. Meanwhile, my play account is on Fidelity. Nice, nice. I like it. I knew you. I suspected that would be the case because you come across as somebody who plays it smart. So, why videos bonus live stream? Thanks, Banana Bread Company. There we go. There we go. Vic says, using Wealthsimple, I hold one share of many companies. I get so much mail to vote, despite me telling them I don't want any mail. I know. Al says, what is VT? Maybe it is Virginia Tech. I saw VT and I thought Vermont for some reason. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, you're in the U.S. right now? All right. I kind of want to know here what that is, but I don't know. All right. Let's see here. I'm actually Guatemalan, originally transplant since I was 16 years old. Nice. Amigo, says Vic. All right. Canadian equal immigrant with experience. There you go. Everybody in Canada at one point came from somewhere else. My heritage is Irish. Most of my folks, my people came over because they ran out of potatoes. So what can you say? Al says, I'm in the U.S. as well. I plan to move back to Canada when I retire. Oh, interesting. There's a lot of Canadians who are like, the taxes are too high here. We're going to move someplace else when we retire. So you're going to do the opposite. Hopefully by then our taxes are fixed a little bit. Ricardo wants to know what part. 9 says, did Skiz get a membership? No, Skiz never did. I wonder if Skiz is a branded account, though. You remember you ran into that issue? I bet you that's what it is. I bet Skiz is a branded account. Next time Skiz is in, we'll have to ask. Al says, what do you mean? Do you mean where I am right now? I am in California. Nice. Well, California, Canada might have lower taxes than California. I hear people complain about California a lot. Let's see. I thought Dallas area Cowboys. All right. OLPL. Okay. Well, I'll leave that. I'm not sure what you're saying, DC, but hey, welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you here today. Ricardo says, does anybody own the Braves baseball team, by the way? Atlanta Braves. I don't know if anybody, hey, it's funny. I know a lot of sports teams you can actually buy, I'm pretty sure. Vic says, Christian McCarthy. Go Oilers. Oh, those Oilers, I'll tell you. I was worried that they would get down 2 games, 2-0, and it's going to be a tough fight for them. This game here is a do or die. If they lose, I don't think there's any way they'll win the series. Like, I don't see them coming back from a 3-0 deficit. They have to win. In fact, I would say they have to win the next 2 if they want any shot at all. Then maybe Florida can go up 3-2, bring it back to 3-3, and go to a game 7, but we'll have to see. For now, it's just tonight's the game. Tonight's the cup for the Oilers. If they lose it tonight, the cup's going to Florida. There's just no way around it. All right. Chat is super active. Holy banana bread. I love it, though. I love it. But that's the whole thing. As we get more and more people in chat, eventually I have to start jumping over. I can't read every single message. So usually if it starts off addressed to somebody else, I'm probably going to skip it unless it's a slow chat. But when it gets busy, I'm going to skip those just because, you know, it may be them replying to somebody else. And unless it's like I happen to notice it's really, really interesting, then I'll do it as well. But anyway, Al says, yeah, I love him. He's a great player, but he got the Madden cover today. All right. Oh, the Madden curse. Julian Engelman. Okay. See, this I don't know. I don't know. I probably couldn't even name more than a handful of NFL players. Al says, I like Edelman too. All right. Amvas says, my core ETFs that I'm interested are all-time high, focused on REITs, low or covered calls, or Canadian divvy, so BK, SMAX, to use proceeds to buy core VFV ETF for DCA, or is it better to buy them now? Okay. This turned into a question. I was like, okay. So my core ETFs that I'm interested in. Okay. So you're looking, yeah. So with these ETFs, if you're looking to buy the sort of your higher income one and just take that income and sort of drop that all into like your mainstay, so your VFVs, that's not a bad, it's not a bad idea. Because here's the thing. When you're looking at that portfolio for a long time, and tomorrow night, like we have the members only Thursday night live stream. So we're going to look at, I believe it was retirement that was winning big time. So we're going to look at retirement, not just as retirement. We're going to start at age 20 and we'll work our way up through the ages. And we'll look at all kinds of different things. But here's an interesting thing. So when you're retired, if you're looking at creating that income on the retirement end, one of the things that you can certainly be doing is as you are adding in some income stuff and you don't need any of that income right now, you can either you could drip it back into income to create more income, or you could be dripping it into other things. So like a VFB or some of your growth stocks, especially if you're younger, that can make a lot of sense because one of the goals is to really grow your TFSA so that when you do eventually turn it all to income, if that's your goal, some people don't go that route, but a lot of people do. You have more to work with. So you can really create a much higher income in those retirement ages. So, but we'll talk a lot more about that tomorrow night. And I know you're a channel member, so hopefully you're there. If you miss it, there'll be the replay as well. Ricardo says, well, I got to run. It was a great conversation. All right. Take care, Ricardo. Always good to see you. And holy banana bread. Look at this. We got another super chat in there coming from Y Videos. And this is what these are for, right? So when we get busy, these super chats mean that no matter what, your question is going to get dealt with. All right. Do you think Chorus Entertainment has a future? Oh, boy, that's a good question. That is a good question. That's and I honestly, I'm going to say right up front, I don't know. I don't actually have an answer on the top of my head on this, but let's find out. Let's see if I can find something here really quickly. All right, let's come back here. We will come back over to here. All right, Chorus. I just want to get the ticker right now. So Chorus Entertainment. Here we go. Oh boy, that's so it is a penny stock, isn't it? CJR.B. All right, let's take a look here. All right, we'll look at the 1 year on here. Okay, so they've been moving in the wrong direction. Holy banana bread. What are they on here? Let's see here. A little bit curious here. Hopefully I'm in the right one, first of all, but I'm going to pull up some key data here. Okay, so yeah, they've been, holy banana bread. They've definitely not been doing well there. That's a lot of debt. That's a 322% debt to equity ratio there. So hopefully, let me know why. Am I on the right one? This one here is coming in at 23.5 cents. Do they have a future? I'll tell you. It's not that what I've seen so far does not look good. It does not inspire me with a lot of confidence. Let's see here. So, all right, media and content company that operates in the diversified media industry. So 2 segments, television and radio. That could be what's hurting them too, is the radio side. So radio is kind of in that situation where it's absolutely been plummeting. Um, it's I feel like radio is kind of unsustainable. And we're now at this point where, radio is kind of going to change. Like, there is a website, I think it's called Radio GPT, where they actually just created a full 100% um, basically AI. Everything's AI, all the personalities, everything. And it's just like, it's kind of going to transform things. And I think it's going to it's almost going to be to the point that a lot of the old traditional radio stations are just not going to be able to compete. Now, in the case of the chat or the radio GPT, some companies like Rogers, I believe, has been interested in it and looking at hiring some of the AI personalities to bring them on. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I think what you're going to see is that eventually, and I think this will happen to all Canadian radio. I think, and maybe even US radio too, where you'll have this little segment, so maybe 8 hours a day of real people. And then so the off segment would be AI radio. I think that's what's probably going to happen. So AI radio, and a little maybe segment where you can have your familiars, so if you're, whoever your local radio person. See, I don't even listen to the radio at all anymore. So I couldn't even tell you a single radio personality from Ottawa. I don't know one of them, not even one. But yeah, so I would not. I would be very hesitant. I would be very hesitant to put any money into Chorus Entertainment. I would be really, really hesitant. Unless it was a matter of like, I'm just throwing $10 in to see what happens. Fine. But I would not put any serious money in that. It's scary that I've seen enough that I'm like, no, I don't think I want anything to do with them. So hopefully you're in that same boat. Hopefully you're not one of the people who has bought in and ridden it down quite a bit. All right, let's go back to Big Me again. Maybe, of course, is the next GameStop. Oh my, yeah. And GameStop has their earnings coming out this week. What day are they coming out? I honestly don't know. Let's find out. Let's take a look here. I know I think I have GameStop on here. Yeah, here he is, GME. Oh, they already happened. They oh my God, they happened on Friday. So no. So basically at the end of the close Friday. So look at this. So they fell on their earnings from, this is kind of erroneous because we had this giant pump that was Roaring Kitty once again going meow. Well, it's probably more of a kind of like that, not opposed to just a simple meow. But yeah, so this is kind of interesting. It's hard to read. It's hard to read GameStop because pretty much it all depends on what's happening with the Wall Street bets and Roaring Kitty and all of that fun stuff. All right, Enid is in the house. Hello, Enid. Better late than never. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. All right. And I know how you feel. Hello, everyone. Just got home. Well, welcome home. By the way, Enid, we are having a bonus Friday market close as a whole bunch of people here. Let me just give them all a call out right now. So we had Jordan. We had Y Videos. We had Mary Finn. We had the Banana Bread Company. And then it was already earned. Y Videos came in and just threw in a nightcap anyway. All of these guys, fantastic. You guys all rock. All right. And I guess I got to unstar that. Otherwise, it stays there. There we go. So, yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Oh, no. So, Y says, unfortunately, I was, and I'm still a chorus holder. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hope you're not in there a lot. I hope you don't have a lot in there, but it's kind of one of those things where you've probably lost enough that would it even make a difference to buy out at this point or just ride it and hope something happens? Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Enid. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How come I don't see Banana Bread Company's comment on the live chat? That's weird. I'm not sure. Well, it's just a super, right? So I'm not sure why you don't see it. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I see it a little bit here now. I'm actually watching this through StreamYard. So that's why the reasons I always have my my main account up over there with it on it so that I can sort of see things there. Because when I look at it on StreamYard, well, let me show you. I'll show you. Let's go to the start. Whoops. All right. And let's go back to here. I think I can do this. You may seem like a whole bunch of me's for a moment, but all right, here we go. When I pull this over, oh, wait a minute. I got to add this here. Okay. So this is what I get to see. I get to see these little strips here. So it at least tells me this, but I don't get to see like the individual, what it looks like. So, you know, for example, so what I will normally do is I'm going to pull this back there just to get rid of me. And we're going to go over to here. And it's the same general thing. You can sort of now see this. But on here, whoops, there we go. I can come over here and I can actually see what they are. Ooh, I can like that. There we go. No, that was a super chat. Now here is a super chat. Where is a... Oh, that's another... They're all super chats. So, yeah. So like with a super sticker. Yeah, that's a super chat too. Oh, I can like that. Yeah, they're all super chats. There we go. There we go. I could actually like them over here. I didn't know I could like those. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, if it's a super sticker, then I can see over here, I can actually see what it is. Whereas, all right, I'm going to, holy cow, let's get rid of the singularity. Whereas for example, so when somebody sends a super sticker that has like the person doing this, I can then do the 3D thing because I can see it. Woo! SCTV 3D. Woo! Oh, this is so much fun. I should have a drink while I have it. All right. There we go. Enid says, wow, Friday. Yay. White Video says the Banana Bread Company is too busy making money to pay Candace dividends. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Why Videos? I like when you show the behind the scenes information. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the whole thing. Like I'll show you guys everything. Like behind me, you can sort of see a little bit of stuff right here. So right above my head, that's a light. So that there is a light that lights the green screen. And well, I don't have the green screen up right now. It actually rolls down. It's you know, but over right there at the end of Mountain Finance, you can see that stick going up. That's the boom. Then if you go a little bit further, you see this little thing at the side that looks like almost a rectangle. Well, that's glass there that you're seeing a reflection there because that there's the teleprompter. So when I script things, I can put the camera on the back end of it, and then the camera will, I'll look through it and I can see the words scrolling up on it while I'm talking. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I love showing you guys stuff that goes on behind the scenes and some of the spreadsheets, like even on the channel, for example. I'll pull this up one more time. Give me a second. I'll pull up what I'm looking for here. All right. So this is one of my main spreadsheets. So this here, there's ap.un. Can you tell what I was scripting today? But, I even keep track of everything on the channel itself. So these are all the videos, the dates, their current views, where they're at. And you can sort of see this goes all the way back to the 7th of October, 2021. So I have all of that, and that's just the videos. These are the live streams. So this here, by the way, is, well, we're actually live. This is live stream 178. So this is the 178th live stream. Holy banana bread. So yeah, and I keep track of all of that. And see, it goes all the way back to the very first live stream on the 6th of November, 2021. So yeah, it was kind of cool. So I keep track of that. I also have, since you guys are curious, these are the shorts. I don't, I don't do a lot of shorts because I find that I think they hurt the channel more than anything else. But I do try to do, and I'm going to be doing a short for Thursday, so I should have a short out tomorrow. These are the top 25 videos. So you can see at the top, look at this. The OAS and GIS in Canada, 21,976 views. It's absolutely bonkers. Then the next best one is like 5,000. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I'm looking for the next video to finally explode. Now I will say this here. This is the RSP meltdown, and it gets steady views. So this one here is going to move into second place probably within the next 3 months. It should move. It should maybe even sooner. It should move in there. So it's definitely kind of cool. I also keep track of how much I've made on videos. So the most I've made on any one video has been $98.88, and that was on that OAS one. Now some of these market closes, like because of, I think this one here, actually, this was all because of Kevin. If you remember Kevin, that one day where he just went crazy and he like donated 10 memberships and then he donated $20. Yeah, that's this right there. It shows up. So kind of cool. Here's my spreadsheet to keep track of how many subs come in every single day. So, kind of a neat little thing. This here is my monthly stats. So I can look at everything and sort of see. So the highlighted ones, these are the records. So these are the best records. So I had this big month in March where I pretty much broke every record, mostly every record. I didn't break the sub ones because we had that sub giveaway in December where I gave away an insane number of subs. So that one's going to be hard to break. But not to say it can't happen. Yeah, and then the rest, these are just worksheets that I use. I threw it on the back of this just to make them accessible, that I use for the challenges, and not the challenges, but for videos. So because this was a deep dive, I just have one here. I still have DRX up here, but that's just because if all the formulas, I can just pull the formula down. So I keep that anyway. Yeah, so that's kind of neat. I don't remember what I was doing with this, but something. Oh, I was looking at, this was for a video actually. These are payment dates. So these are all of these ETFs that pay, or not just ETFs, but basically high dividend stocks and ETFs. These are all the ones that pay on the 7th, the 8th. These are all the ones that pay on the 14th. Oh, right. The highlighted one means it's an ETF. Cool. Anyway, I did that for a video. I can't remember what. Oh, it was the one to sort of how to get paid weekly. So that's why I have it broken into the 4-week segments to sort of say, okay, you have some of these, have some of these, have some of these, have some of these, and then you're getting dividends every week. Pretty fun. Anyway, I'll just pull this anyway. That's, I think, all I'm going to show in there for now. But Jonathan says, I like staring into infinity. Yeah, there we go. Thanks so much. As always, a great stream. And Amfest says, are we doing anything special on your 200th stream? That's a good question. Yes. I don't know what, but we will. Let's plan to do something cool on that 200th stream. Let me mull that over. Now, we are, of course, going to have, once we get to 4,000 subs, we're going to do that open to close. So that's going to be special, too. What would be funny is, could you imagine if it just happened to work out that happened to be the 200th stream? How crazy would that be? But, it's hard to say. Right now, it's like spinning a roulette wheel and saying it's going to land on 14 black. We don't know yet. Patricia's in the house. Hi, Patricia. Good to see you. Let's see. I went ahead and bought one NVIDIA stock. Nice. They were up today. So hopefully you got it early in the day because they were up like about 3%. And let's see. Congrats. I think you won't regret it for a few years at least. Yeah, exactly. So Patricia comes in right at the end. These are normally a 1-hour video. So we made it to an hour and a half, but that's because You guys were absolutely rocking. This was a great, great chat today. I'm loving it. Hopefully you guys can all make it back on Friday and we'll have another just banger. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. It's time, I think. It's time to say goodbye. So I'm going to head down and probably have some supper. In the meantime, everyone, take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you, especially the channel members. We'll see you tomorrow night. And the rest of you, we'll see you on Friday as we do this all over again. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.